everything that we're feeling and every emotion, every body sign, every thought we have is really just our nervous system trying to get us back to safety. You break your ankle, it hurts because your body's
Right.
like, don't walk on it. You're going to
Right.
make it worse. Like, don't walk on it. So
Right.
there's going to be pain, kind of a
Hmm.
thing. So the same thing, like with the anger, the sadness, the guilt, the shame, like there's stories behind it that are
Yeah.
trying to get you back to safety.
Welcome to the Cyclical Doula podcast. I'm Emma, a certified Sympto Pro instructor, a fertility awareness educator, and your guide to fertility coaching and reproductive health education from menarche to menopause and all the different types of motherhood in between. If you're seeking a natural, science backed approach to managing your fertility, understanding your cycle, or simply connecting with your body in a new way, you're in the right place. Each episode is designed to empower you with the tools, knowledge, and confidence you need to thrive in your unique journey. Quick disclaimer, this podcast is for educational purposes only and is not medical advice or individualized charting support. For specific guidance, please consult with your healthcare provider or fertility awareness instructor. Now, let's dive into today's topic.
Welcome to the space where cycles breathe, where the real raw life of a mama leads. From motherhood's highs to charting the low, your body's story is the star of the show. Matriarch heart.
Before we get started today, I want to give a shout out to the local space that I genuinely love recording in, the Trolley Room in Somerville, South Carolina. If you're a creative, a small business owner, or someone who just needs a quiet, professional place to work or record, this place is such a gem. They offer a private office space, a beautiful conference room with a flexible event space, and a dedicated podcast studio. It's calm, well set up, and makes the whole process feel super easy, which we always need more of. You can learn more at thetrolleyroom.com and also go follow them on Facebook. Welcome back to the Cyclical Doula podcast. Today, I'm sitting down with Sami Garrett, the founder of Good Enough Matrescence. And this is a global collective where conscious moms come to expand joy, peace, and presence and truly redefine what modern motherhood support can look like. After navigating her own postpartum season filled with overwhelm, rage, and that deep ache for real support, Sami created the community she wished existed. One rooted in nervous system literacy, mindfulness, connection, and mothering yourself first. Sami is a yoga and mindfulness practitioner, a master curator, a gentle but powerful guide for moms who are ready to move from survival mode into something so much more richer. I'm so excited to have you here and to talk about all the possible things that we could have today. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Emma. I'm so excited to be here with you guys and with you.
Awesome. Well, tell us a little bit more that I feel like encompass a lot of what your work does, but tell us a little bit more about who you are as a human being.
Yeah, I love this question because I feel like so many people are like, tell me about you specifically in your work. And I'm like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, that's not that it's
That's so
necessarily
specific.
boring,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
okay. So I love to not take myself too seriously, and I
Yeah.
try to incorporate that throughout my day and my life. And we're outside a lot, we're playing a lot, and making mistakes a lot. Um, I love slowness. And I
Mm,
always thought that I was lazy, like, because I
okay.
always
Yeah.
would prefer to, sometimes even in college, my roommate and I would get all dressed up to go out, and then we'd be like, "Well, let's just put our sweatpants on and like watch The Bachelor."
Yeah.
Um, and all throughout life, I've just loved that slower. Just I'd rather just kind of hang out and be slow.
Yeah.
And there are times that I'm really productive and
For
like want to
sure.
do
Yeah.
something, but for the most part, I just want to relax all the time. And I always thought I was lazy, and now I'm like, no, this is great. Now everyone is talking about how to be slower and how to
Yeah.
relax, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool, this is great. But yeah, I have two kids, and so we play a lot, and yeah, I just like to be outside a lot, and I enjoy my morning coffee and a good cookie, chocolate chip cookie, really any cookie, peanut butter cookie. Yeah, that's pretty much. Oh, I love chatting with people. Yeah, I do love chatting
Yeah.
with people and getting to know like the random quirkinesses about them. So that is
Yeah.
something, if we ever like ran into each other and sparked up a conversation, it would definitely be deeper than how's the weather. We'd all of a
Yeah.
sudden like
Yeah.
we'd be sharing our deepest desires and like darkest secrets.
I love
So
that. I am so bad at small talk, but I feel like, because I'm like, I don't really know what to say. But if we can like get on a topic, I'm like, let's go, let's talk.
yes, absolutely.
I love that. You mentioned coffee, but I
Yeah.
feel like there's probably more. What are some of your favorite rhythms or rituals?
Oh, okay. At what point, what times of the day, and at what seasons? I am not.
Whatever you want to share is fine. I love that it's so specific. Are you like generally a ritual and rhythm person?
No, but
Yeah.
yes, yes,
Uh-huh.
but no. Um, I can't stick with like routines
Yeah.
throughout the
Okay.
whole year. It's
Yeah.
very much
I mean,
it's,
that's
but in a sense, it's a ritual or routine. Like when I
yeah.
wake up, I do typically do have coffee every
Yeah.
day, but it might not be at the same time every day. It
Okay.
just kind of depends. But what I do
Yeah.
like to do every morning is sometimes I place my hand on my heart, sometimes I don't, but really taking a breath and turning inward and just saying, "Oh, what does my heart need today? Or what does my heart need right now? Or what do I need right now?"
Mhm.
And I do this check in throughout the day, which is, in a
Yeah.
sense, that's a ritual, but
Yeah,
then the
for sure.
outcome of it is very different
Very
depending
different.
on
Yeah.
the day.
Hmm.
But I do like to get outside every day. That's usually
Yeah.
something that does happen every day outside. And yeah, just trying to follow what
Yeah.
feels good right now would
Yeah.
be,
That's great.
yeah. But otherwise, I guess I go to bed at a similar time, like
Okay.
9:30 ideally, sometimes 10.
Yeah. Yep.
Sometimes right now we're staying with my sister, so it is 10:30.
Okay.
But so that's normal. That would be a normal rhythm, I guess. But other than that, it's I like the choice to be able to do
Yeah,
whatever during the day.
for sure.
Yeah.
With that, what is filling your cup in this current season?
That is such a hard question right now because background of this very current season that I'm in as of this recording, we both of our dogs died 2 days apart from each other,
I'm so
right around
sorry.
Halloween.
Oh,
My
wow.
daughter's birthday was November 1st,
Oh,
and then
wow.
we moved states Thanksgiving weekend.
Oh my
It's
goodness.
currently like, what is it, December 10th or 11th or something?
It's the 11th, I think. Yeah.
Um, we're currently in a house. We're like I said, we're staying with my sister while we're waiting to find a rental. So we're
Yeah.
very much in this
Like a
transition,
huge
weird
transition.
limbo.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very much a limbo season. So I
Yeah.
would say what's really filling my cup right now is letting it be weird, just like letting it
Yeah.
be however it is. Like some days
Hmm.
like the girls, because we have two young daughters, they're 5 and 3, and so it was a big change for us as adults, but like for them too. So some days,
Yeah.
like they're talking about our dogs and missing them. Some
Right.
days they want to go walk across the street to the beach. So really, I would say what's filling my cup is allowing for that white space and not putting the
Mhm.
pressure on myself to go and do something or be
Yeah.
somewhere at a specific time and
Yeah.
just we're just riding the waves at the moment and just
Yeah.
letting it be however it is.
Yeah.
So
That's great.
yeah.
That's good. But I feel like that, like, what I feel like there's seasons like that for
Yeah.
everybody, that it's just like so much transition and so many big
Yeah.
things happening. And like, what a good thing to be able to just take it
Be.
one time at a time, one step at a
Yeah.
time.
Thank you.
You're right across the street from a beach.
So we're at like in like Tahoe right now. So
Okay.
we're like one block away
That's
from like a
amazing.
little stretch of the beach. Yeah. I mean, we're not swimming. It's a little cold, but
Yeah.
it's beautiful.
That makes sense. But that's awesome. I personally am like such a like beach water person.
Me too.
So yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Um, do you do you feel like there's other things about your, or like what other things about your experience led you into what you're doing now with your work?
Oh, okay. I love
And
this.
this can be a long answer because I'm
Okay.
assuming it has a big story to it.
It really does. It really, really does. So I have always loved, like I said earlier, talking with people,
Right.
really empowering people to empower themselves. I've noticed that when I talk to friends or family, it's very much whatever it is that they're going through and dealing with is
Mm.
correct for them at that moment. Now, I
Yeah.
could never put words to this, but it was always just like, yeah, like it makes sense that you are feeling, doing, acting the way that you are.
Right.
And like, what is it that is like calling you? What is it that you want to do? And then like go do it and like encourage them to like, yeah, then go and do it. Go and do like just very
Yeah.
empowering of others to empower themselves, not necessarily what I would do.
Right.
And that's just always been a theme in my
Mhm.
life. But then before I had kids, probably maybe like 5 years before, I started doing a lot of mindfulness
Yep.
and deep inner healing, mainly because I knew I wanted to have kids one day and had no idea how to be a parent because I
Yeah.
had less than ideal examples.
Mhm.
And so I knew what I didn't want to do, but I didn't know what
Right.
to do. And I knew I had healing to do. And so I found that in mindfulness practices, meditations, just really coming into the present and really learning everything I could from all of the different people about that. And then that one other thing I guess I should add is when I don't know about something or something's kind of scary, I'll dig into research to just like
Okay.
learn as much as possible. And then
Yeah.
it's not as scary.
Yeah,
And so,
that
of
makes
course,
sense.
like, yeah, so being a parent, like being pregnant, having a
Motherhood,
baby,
yeah,
yes,
that's a lot of research to do.
so much research. And also, I'm like, I don't know what it's like to actually have a baby. I need to like learn
Right.
everything and not just like, okay, egg, sperm, grow baby, it comes out of the vagina, but like,
Yeah.
what like physically,
Oh,
biophysically, like
yeah.
all of the
There's so
biomechanically,
many
like,
things, yeah.
yes, and what's happening mentally, hormonally,
Yeah.
like all the things. So in this mindfulness deep dive that I did, I started then diving into child psychology, child
Yeah.
development, which then I got pregnant and I was like, okay, now I need to learn everything about being pregnant again on
Yeah.
all of those different levels of like mind, body, heart, soul, everything. I
Yeah.
wanted to be as prepared as possible. And I gathered all this resource, all these resources, all this information. I had my first baby. It was a beautiful birth, quite normal postpartum. Like I did
Okay.
have it was during COVID was when
Yep.
my first baby was born. And I actually really liked it because again, earlier I told you I very much
Yeah.
like to rest and relax. And I was like, I don't have to
Right.
see anybody. Like, this is great.
Right. Oh, yeah.
And so it was very normal in that sense of the hormone drops. I was crying because
Yeah.
I missed my old self. My boobs hurt, my nipples hurt. Like
Right.
all of the things that I learned in books and podcasts and research and classes and courses and all the things, but had never
Yeah.
experienced. So now I'm
Right.
experiencing them.
Right.
And I didn't think there was anything wrong. There were no problems. Didn't really feel super lonely or anything. Again, I think because it was partially COVID and I was like, this is great. I can do exactly what I want, how I want, when I want
Right.
without anybody's input.
Right.
And so then fast forward 2 years later, I got pregnant again, had another beautiful birth. This postpartum though was different. Um, I so I had a 2 year old and newborn.
Right.
We were living in a small town. There was no support, no family around, no nothing. And this is when I was like, holy shit, can I swear? Is that okay?
Yes,
Can I
you're
swear?
fine. Yeah, that's
Okay.
fine.
I'm like, holy shit, like what how come we don't have the support? We don't have a village. What is this
Right.
village that we're all missing?
Yeah.
Before I thought, oh, that's nice. That's like a luxury. And
Right. Right. Right.
yeah. And then during this postpartum, I was like, oh my God, no, like this is a necessity. We
Yeah.
all need this. And then I uh, went through postpartum rage
Mhm.
pretty badly. I would say it probably started my third trimester. It wasn't terrible, but like definitely I was very overstimulated,
Yeah.
very like under resourced, all the things, hormones, all of that. And I just chalked it up to hormones. Like, yeah,
Right.
my third trimester and I have a toddler running around. Like, of course, like I'm just irritated.
Right.
But then a few months into my second postpartum, it was definitely more than that. Like I could be so incredibly happy and loving and motherly. And then like with a snap of a finger, a drop of a pin, all of a sudden I'm exploding and I'm just like
Yeah.
yelling. And I mean, there was a trigger. It was always my older one would like hit my younger one. And
Mm.
logically, I'm like, this is very developmentally appropriate. I
Right.
understand it from a child development, child psychology. She's
Right.
not even two, barely two, just over two, like that whole
Yeah.
stretch
Yeah.
there. Logically get it. Uh, unconsciously, totally triggered, totally snapping. And that is then what made me deep dive into really deep nervous system work, specifically around the subconscious and inner child healing and how it really comes out in our parenting.
Mhm.
And that it was, at the time, of course, I was like, "Ah, I hate that I'm so angry. I don't want to be this angry mom."
Right.
And all the resources, not all, but most of the resources I found were like, yeah, you shouldn't be angry if you chose this. Like, you need to get your shit together. You shouldn't
Yeah.
be like, how could you yell? How could you? And of course, like, there's all this research too that talks about how yelling is just as, um, what's the word I'm looking for?
Like
Like
detrimental.
detrimental as physical abuse is.
Yep.
So maybe you're not hitting your child, but actually yelling, like, psychologically is just as abusive. Like, you're
Yeah.
just screwing them up and like putting all these things on. And I came from an abusive
That
background.
doesn't help.
No. And I was like, I will never ever be
Right.
abusive. So yes, well, I wasn't like, hitting them, but I was yelling. And now I'm reading this research and I'm like, "Oh, I can't, like, there's something wrong with me."
Yeah.
And everything out there is like, there's something wrong with you. Mothers
Right.
shouldn't do this. Like, of course, shouldn't do all this stuff.
Right.
So there wasn't any really good resources to
Mhm.
help me with that I could find at the time.
Right.
And it really put me on this journey then to learn why it was that I was snapping, like what the
Yeah.
trigger was, what the meaning behind that was. How can I heal that? How can I heal my nervous system right now? Because there's a lot of moms out there that don't yell at their kids
Right.
for, dropping eggs, just say.
Right.
And then there's some that are. And then, like, where there's times that like, kids can color on the walls and I'm like, cool, like, we'll just clean it up, not a big deal. But for some other moms, they're like, oh my God, like, what did you do? There's just
Yeah.
different triggers for
Yeah.
all of us.
Right.
And so it put me on that journey to really, really, really understand the subconscious and how it plays out and dictates
Mhm.
our world, how we're
Yeah.
looking at it right now. And with that, really made me understand that there really isn't, from my belief, no right or wrong, good or bad. Like, everything that we're feeling and every emotion, every body sign, every thought we have is really just our nervous system trying to get us back to safety. And so,
Mhm.
you break your ankle, it hurts because your body's
Right.
like, don't walk on it. You're going to make
Right.
it look like don't walk on it. So
Right.
there's going to be pain, kind of a
Mhm.
thing. So the same thing, like with the anger, the sadness, the guilt, the shame, like there's stories behind it that are
Yeah.
trying to get you back to safety. And with that, I was like, oh my God, like this, unless you start diving deep, like this isn't just talked about. You don't just go into
Right.
your doctor's office and you're like, yeah, I'm feeling really snappy. And they're not going to say, okay, well, let's look at this. Are you underslept, undernourished? Are you
Right.
overstimulated? Are you, like, all the things? And how was your childhood? What is it that's making you snap then, but not snap at this other time? Is it something
Right.
deeper going on, or is it just that you're like lacking protein? Like, we
Which could be it. That could be the only reason.
exactly.
Yeah.
It could. And so there's just so much that goes
Yeah.
into our postpartum experience and how we feel, and motherhood in general, like
Yeah.
years into motherhood. And I was like, there is not a space that you can access all of this. Like, if you're angry, you go to anger management. If
Yeah.
you are having postpartum anxiety, you join just a specific anxiety group. If you have
Right.
a toddler, you're in the toddler group. If you're dealing with ADHD, like, you're in an ADHD group. Like,
Right.
everything's so separate. And then you
Yeah.
graduate from it and you're gone. And
Right.
there are other moms that come in, there's other moms that go out.
Right.
And I just was thinking that how nice would it be if you could come into a sort of library, as a sense where you don't
Yeah.
have to do any, there's not like step one, step two, step three. It's just like, I'm coming into a library. I have all these resources. What is it that I need today? Today,
Mhm.
I just need a little bit more self care, like self love, self connection. How can I make a micro moment to do that? Oh, here's a bunch of resources. Or
Yeah.
maybe you connect with someone, and let's say I have a teenager, but somebody is in the NICU,
Yeah.
and they're in this group and they're like, no one that I know has a NICU baby. It's really hard. Like, I'm struggling, like all the things. And I
Right.
could be like, oh my God, I know I'm 15 years postpartum, but like, I had that same or very similar experience. Like, let's talk.
Right.
Let's just like connect over this,
Yeah.
and have a space where we can oscillate in and out of all of these different chapters and just support each
Right.
other through it, but from a very empowering place and from a very like,
Yeah.
you're not broken, nothing's wrong with you. Like, let's figure it out. And
Right.
also, if you don't want to figure it out, that's totally fine too. Like, if you just
Yeah.
want to be, like
Mhm.
cool. And you just want to be in a space that you feel that you could just connect with other moms and just celebrate, cry, laugh, scream, and not necessarily always have to be in the mindset of fixing yourself
Yep.
kind of a thing.
Yep.
So that's kind of the long story of it. And I wanted it to be a collective where it's not
Yeah.
me. Like, yes, I do know some stuff about the nervous system and the
Right.
subconscious and yoga and things like that. But like, I am not a DPT. I'm not a therapist. I'm not
Right.
I'm not all these other things. And so if
Right.
we could create this library again where like you could step in and have resources, like
Mhm.
access to all of these different
Yeah.
people and all of their different expertise, and we're all just coming together to empower each other and ourselves, like,
Right.
oh, and just parent from really this overfilling cup because we are so
Yeah.
resourced that
Mhm.
it's just incredible. Like, imagine our children and then our children's children, and they're going to
I
have
know.
partners. And if their partners were raised by moms also pouring from an overflowing cup, like,
Yeah.
yeah, everyone's going to have their issues, but how amazing would it be if I don't know, that gets me really
Yeah.
excited to be like, oh, that just sounds so amazing.
Absolutely. And I feel like when you know better, you do better in regards to
Yeah,
this, right? So like
yeah,
when you know how much like regulating your nervous system can help with some
yeah,
of this, or like finding those resources to make sure you're nourished well, or like all of
yeah,
those things and bringing that all in, like we can just parent and be humans from a better place, and be able to like connect well. Absolutely.
yeah. Oh,
I
yeah,
love that.
thank you.
So I do think like I have a very similar experience with some of this. I have a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old, so, like, they're in
Nice.
the
Yep.
same, like, difference, and they were born during right before COVID and then during COVID and or, like, kind of after, but
But still in it.
it's
It's kind
still
of like a
in it.
4 year
Like, it
thing.
was right, it was one of those things where it was like, "Oh, like, we're like my daughter, my youngest, she was born in June of 2021. So I was like, "Oh, like we're like kind of like coming out of all of that." No,
Yeah, but not
it
really.
really wasn't. And it wasn't so we lived in Vermont at the time and it wasn't until we moved down to Charleston here that I was like, "Oh man, like I missed like the connection with people and like all of this stuff that I like thought that I would have wanted as a parent early on with littles
Yeah,
and being able to connect with people down here was great, but yeah, that so I have found that because of all of that experience, like there's so many online groups that have grown out of all of this that has been so helpful. What about like you explained it a little bit, but what about
yeah,
like, this group do you feel like makes it worth spending the time to be there
yeah.
in
I
that space?
believe it's because we're not a coach first
Yes.
group. We're not coming in to have one person tell us how it is that we should parent,
Yeah.
but more as a collective of we're all moms and we
Yeah.
all have different knowledge and specialties. And even the moms that we do have like a JI certified parenting coach
Okay.
inside that
Yeah.
comes and we can ask her very specific questions like, I want to conscious parent my like kids are fighting. How do I
Right.
stop yelling? Things like that. And she can give us tools. And also, she very much is open to be like, I'm going through the same thing too. My kids are just
Right.
slightly older, or now we're going through this. And maybe
Right.
there's another member in the group that's like, I'm not a certified coach, but let me tell you what I did with my kids that was really helpful. And it might just be
Right.
something super off, like, yeah, I just turned on this one song and every time there was a meltdown and we just started dancing and now all of a sudden you've just got a tip, you try it and it changes your life, but
Mhm.
it's not like a coach
It's
first.
not a
It's
whole, 6-month course of trying to
yes.
figure it out. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, not exactly. And so
yeah,
it's very much more of a I guess you could say like group
yeah,
led or more just based. I really wanted to be rooted in community of like, let's just all share our wisdoms and like no one's
right.
above each other or below each other. We're all on the same level and we all have things to provide to help empower each other during our different stages and flavors of motherhood.
Yeah, I love
So,
that. Amazing. So, you've mentioned about, like, mothering yourself first.
mm, mhm.
What does that look like to you, either personally or just, like, in general?
Yeah. So personally, it's one of my favorite things to say when my kids are doing something. Like one of the fastest ways for me to come down when I'm
Yeah.
feeling heightened emotions
Mhm.
of any sort is to say this should be happening or they should be doing this.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden just saying like this should be happening, it's like shoulders drop. You're like, okay,
Yeah.
so if this should be happening now, how do I go ahead and like move through from like clarity? How do I then want to handle the situation? How do I
Yeah.
want to remember the situation? All of those things, like just really reminding myself I'm safe. So, but I do this for myself too, because it's really easy to be like, yeah, your 5 year old should be hitting their 3 year old. The 3 year old took the toy. The 5 year old's mad. The 5 year old doesn't know how to take a calming breath or whatever. So they hit like that should be
Right.
happening. Or all of the different things. It's easy to be like, they have an underdeveloped frontal lobe. They
Right.
have no reasoning skills. Like
No.
they should be doing this. And it's a lot harder to be like, I should also be reacting the way I'm reacting based
Yeah.
on my internal environment and the external environment. And so
Right.
that's probably the first thing I do to parent myself is, and you could call it the compassion, the grace. Sometimes those are
Mhm.
hard for me to be like, how do I give myself compassion? And so I have to just remember, oh, this should be happening. I should be feeling a little overwhelmed right now. I
Right.
overscheduled myself. I have an expectation that my 2 year old is going to put their shoes on in 3 minutes because I decided to wait 3 minutes before we had to leave the door instead of getting him ready 15 minutes. Like I
Right.
forgot to give myself time, or things like that. Just
Yeah.
to be like,
Right.
yeah, I should be feeling this way. This should be happening. And then that
Mhm.
is like the first parenting for me, almost like I'm giving myself a hug, like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's okay. Like, you've got this. It's hard. And I like to say this to myself too, like, it's hard or whatever it is. I'm feeling this way or whatever. And I'm here with you. Like, just reminding myself that
Yeah.
I'm here with me. I'm not, even though, yes, it's just me, like, just me right now, but
Mhm.
I'm still here with me, almost like that inner parent to that inner child. I really like
I love
IFS
that.
a lot. So
Mhm.
I refer to like that kind of stuff. But
That's
that's
awesome.
how that's how I would say I mother myself first is just
Yeah.
reminding myself that like it's okay, this should be happening the way it's happening. And yeah, maybe I don't like that I just snapped at them, but it should have happened. And now I get to choose how I'm gonna repair. Now I get to say, oh, thanks for that reminder that I actually want to go sit outside in the sun with a cup of tea for a couple of minutes and like the
Yeah.
kids are fine making a mess, I'll deal with it later. Or maybe they come outside with me or I think it just opens up the opportunity to create more space and like love for
Yeah.
myself with that approach. But there's so many different ways that you could how do you like to mother yourself? I know you're interviewing me, but I'm just
Ooh,
curious.
yeah. No, that's a great question. I feel like personally, like I did a lot of emotional like intelligence work
Mm,
um when I first was a mom, like right as well as I was pregnant and like becoming a mom early on. I like found out about it and I was like, oh man, like this is something I need to do. And I think it completely changed the trajectory of what I would
yeah.
have been as a mother. Cause I think who I was as a teenager.
Mm,
Like I was very nervous around a lot of things and like it really changed and not obviously like that still still creeps
yeah,
in.
of course.
But I think I really changed the way that I wanted to parent and be a mother. And I think I'm still figuring out in this current season now with kind of like
Yeah.
changing what this looks like. 3 years ago, so 3 years ago, my husband and we were living in Vermont. We had a 2 year old and a baby.
Mhm.
It was actually we decided this when we were still pregnant with her, but he was teaching elementary school. I was running the education program for the church that we were at. And we just were like, we don't like living in Vermont. We have no reason to be in the cold. Like, we don't do any winter sports. Like, we're just gonna move. And I had never been to Charleston before, to South Carolina, and we picked Charleston as a place to go, to move to, and, we didn't move until, like, 9 months later.
Mhm.
And looking back, I knew that everybody thought we were crazy, like, in the moment, like, people were like, "You're doing what?"
Yeah.
Looking back, I'm like, "Yeah, that probably was a little bit of a, like, drastic thing," and but with that, we both switched careers. So my husband left teaching and went to as a flight attendant right now. And I went from being in an education space to nannying and then opening up
Mhm.
a childcare in my home. And so
Love it.
we're like that I in itself, like I feel like I swapped and now we're in a season of like this my fertility work is becoming a more of a priority and
Yeah.
my husband's trying to get his pilot's license and our kids are bigger. They're like now in that school age. And I'm like, we're in this new season and I feel like I'm still working on figuring out what this looks like for me in this
Yeah.
season about feeding myself. But I think it always comes back to like being willing to learn about new
Mhm.
stuff and being willing to sit in it, and
Yeah.
figuring out what I currently like raw Emma,
Yeah.
I am currently figuring out what brings me joy in this season because I think, like,
Oh,
that's something that's like, I could tell you what brought me joy when I was a teenager, like, all of these
yeah.
things, but, like, I don't know how to do that right now, and I'm working on it. I'm trying to find the things and, like, connecting with people over podcasting has been so fun and all of that stuff, but, man, when you're in the trenches with littles and,
Yeah.
like, that's what you're doing all the
Yeah.
time. It's draining, and so, like, it's been fun to find that in this season
Yeah.
too.
Isn't that cool? Like, you could be like, "So
Yeah.
what is it that, like, Emma now likes?" I feel the
Right.
same way, like, we just moved, so I'm like, "Okay, we're gonna get into a new routine now, like, what is
Right.
it that I wanna start doing more, like, for me too?" Like,
Right.
some cozy hobbies and
Yeah.
because I can do them now, like, I
Right.
can actually read a book. I don't have
Right.
to
You're
listen to a book while the kids are napping. I can
yeah.
read a physical book.
Love it.
What? And I'm sure other people are like, "What do you" I've always been able to read a book. You know, we just go through
Well, I
those
meing, kids are
things.
different completely, but
Yeah,
yeah, for sure.
yeah. So it's yeah, it's
Absolutely.
so cool, and I feel like we'll have the same conversation in, like, 5 years, being like,
Yeah.
"I'm now trying to find what I like as a preteen parent." Like,
Right.
what is it
Right.
that I even like now? Or, like and
Right.
then you're, like, empty nesting, and then you're like, "Oh my gosh, like, now what do I do with my time?"
There's so much time. Yeah.
Yeah. But I
Absolutely.
love that. Yeah, like, but I love too that, yeah, you're like, "Okay, let's figure it out. Let's see what I like." I think that's the same for me too, like, with the whole, what is it
Yeah.
that my heart needs right now? Like, sometimes it's to journal, sometimes it's just to sit, like,
Yeah.
sometimes it's to eat a cookie.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah,
Eat a cookie. Absolutely. Always. That's always the answer.
always.
Uh,
Yeah, that is always the answer.
I love that. Okay, so with that, I think it sounds like obviously like I'm not in this community in this collective group, but it sounds like people are coming into this space and really changing the way that they're looking at parenting and motherhood and like kind of going against what culture is pushing on us in regards to it. What like comes up is there something that continually comes up theme-wise of, like, what people are pushing back against, like, generally in
Yeah.
culture and motherhood?
Ooh, this is there's a lot. Okay, so
Yeah.
there's a lot because we do cover everything from fertility, pregnancy, birth, the 4th
Okay.
trimester, years past the 4th
Yeah.
trimester, child-related things. So there's always, "This is right, this is wrong, you should do this, use cloth diapers, use this diaper, don't use
Right,
that
right, right.
diaper, oh, this chemical, oh,
Yeah.
if
So
you
many
don't go to
things.
church,"
Yeah,
or like all like
yeah,
every single topic. So
right.
I think at the end of the day, underneath all of it is really, uh, empowering moms to do motherhood their way and what feels
Mm,
good for them,
mhm.
and to be able to still be friends with someone who does it differently. Like, maybe
Yeah.
I want to homeschool. Like, to me, it's like, I cannot wait to homeschool. I cannot wait. Like, I really love this one aspect. I want them to learn so much about this.
Right.
So I'm so excited about homeschooling. And for someone else, they might be like, I tried it. Actually, this is something that has happened. They tried it. It's not working for them. They're incredibly
Right.
stressed out. They're trying to homeschool because that's the good thing to do in their
Right.
mind. But then you
Yep.
could talk to someone else who's like, homeschool, are you kidding me? You're going to have a weirdo that's unsocialized, that knows nothing, that's never going to get
Right.
into college. And that's their belief. And the space allows for curiosity versus
Mm.
this is correct or this is correct, and allows us to even question, like, why is it that I think homeschooling's better? Why is it that I think public school's better, private school's better, Montessori's better, whatever the case, like, just
Yeah.
room to explore it. And maybe you change your mind, maybe you don't change your mind, but really, at the end of the day, I feel really confident in how I'm parenting. I feel
Right.
good about it. I feel like it's right for me and my family. And it
Mhm.
might not look like what my parents did. It might not look like what my friends did. But I feel good about it in myself, and I don't feel like I have to hide it because I'm in a community that understands that we get to choose our own motherhood and we get to choose how
Yeah.
we experience it. We're going to die one day and we're going to look back,
Mhm.
and why not make it fun and how you want it to be? And I get it, like fun could be a word that's like, well, it's not always fun when your toddler's throwing a tantrum. So I mean fun in the sense that you were really in control. You had the choice, like you were present, really present comes down to it at the end of the day that like, yeah, that was a really hard moment. I made it through. Maybe I handled it the best I could. Maybe I
Mhm.
didn't, but either way, I did actually handle it the best I could given the
Yeah.
situation. And I learned and I grew, and just like being present, I think takes away all the FOMO, the guilt, the shame, all of that.
Yeah.
Cause you can just look back and be like, yeah,
For sure.
I did it my way and I
Yeah.
learned and just uh, so there isn't necessarily one topic that pops up, but it just
Oh, for sure.
comes down to being in a community that you feel safe enough to be curious and to question and to
Yeah.
change your mind if you want to, or not change your mind,
Mhm.
and not feel like you can't. I think in society, a lot of the time, it's so polarized, and you like have to find the groups that completely agree with you. And sometimes if you like have a micro disagreement with them, like you're not a part of it anymore,
Right.
or you're kind of ostracized, but you don't really fit into that opposite group either. So this is more of like a melting pot where you can choose to, I don't know, bake sourdough bread and send your kid to public school. Like you
Right.
don't have to be
Yeah.
on a whole, like
Yeah.
you get to
You
do
can
whatever
pick
you
and
want to
choose what works
do.
for you and make
Yeah.
that conscious choice. Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
and
That's
have the
awesome.
resources to
Yeah.
see, like,
Yeah.
maybe I know nothing, maybe I'm curious about, like, a different kind of motherhood, but, like, I don't even know the first thing about trying to learn about it, but there's other people that are doing it, so we can all just share. So I think that's
Yeah.
probably yeah, just, like, enjoying your motherhood,
Yeah. That's
doing it
awesome.
your way.
Yeah, that's amazing. Okay, so you're talking about all this. How does somebody like join this group and like is there prerequisites for like coming
No.
into it? Okay.
I mean, I would say the only prerequisite would be that you, on some level, identify as a mother, whether you have
Yeah.
children or you don't have children, or however that plays out for you.
Yep.
Because it is very much a space for resources for moms. But again,
Right.
like you
That makes
have,
sense.
but everyone's journey is different. You might not have kids, you might want kids, you might not, you might be have adopted kids. That doesn't mean you're not a mom. Like there,
For
so if
sure.
you internally identify on some level as wanting to be or whatever, something with mothering,
Yep.
then you're welcome to the space. I think the only other prerequisite, which we haven't had to deal with at all, everyone that's joined is very welcoming and curious, but like, we don't, I don't think of like the correct word to use, like bash each other for
Yeah.
things. Like we're
It's a
allowed,
safe space.
it's safe, and it's safe to like say something what someone else would perceive wrong, or like not
Hmm.
maybe politically correct, because maybe
Yep.
you don't know how someone else is feeling. So it really is a space that you can come in and just be who you are, how you are. And maybe someone's like, oh, that word like made me feel kind of weird because of this.
Yeah.
But
Right.
I'm not calling you a bad person for saying that word, because our backgrounds are very different, like,
Right.
those types of things. But otherwise, yeah, it's a membership. So there's monthly or annual membership fees, and we're actually trying to get into an app in January, so it'll be available February. So we will have an app, which will be really, really exciting. At the moment, though, we have our community and the resources. They're just on a desktop, right? Is
Yeah.
that, I guess, what you
Okay.
normal computer?
I
And then
think
we'll
so.
have,
I think that's how
I mean,
you refer to
yeah, yeah,
it.
you can access it on your phone,
Yeah.
but like it's through like the normal,
Yeah. Whatever your
yeah,
internet browser is. Yeah.
whatever your, yes. But we will have an app coming out in February, so
That's
it'll be
really exciting.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. That's helpful. Do you think that you found that women coming into this, mothers coming into this, are feeling just as connected in like the online we kind of talked about this earlier, but in the online space, or do you feel like it's because I feel like sometimes the other day my husband and I were talking about like, man, we should just get rid of all the smartphones and like all of that stuff, and then I'm like, oh, but I like the things that are like this that you like
Yeah,
feel
you're like, but I have to use
connected.
my podcast still.
Right, right, exactly. Um, but
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like it seems like it's a community that people are feeling welcomed in and then not overwhelmed and like
Yeah.
can they like come in and go as they please, obviously like, membership wise, but they're in it. But
Oh,
uh,
for sure. Yeah,
it's
there's
not like
definitely
there's not like requirements of participation or yeah.
no, you can like, and it goes with your season of life. So you might jump
Yeah.
in because like you're full on trying to figure out your menstrual cycle and like your
Yeah.
hormones to like, you're trying to figure that out. And then all of a sudden you're pregnant now and you want to be in your pregnancy bubble and you just want to
Right.
like come in and talk to some parents about
Right.
pregnancy. But
Yeah.
like before you were like in it.
Yeah.
So you can oscillate in and out of it. It's very much not a thing to do. It's not another to do. Again, we're
Yeah.
all about nervous system regulation and more
Yes.
to dos are not safe for our nervous system. So
Yeah.
I'd like to think of it more like the plate that holds you,
Yeah.
and you can just like bite off whatever it is that you want or not. Maybe you're outside and you're like, I just don't want my phone. I don't want to connect with anyone. And that's fine too. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's very much a space to
A good
just
ebb and flow.
think,
Yeah, that's good.
yeah, more of that, like, yeah, peace of mind in your back pocket. Use it when you need it.
Yeah.
Be in it as much or as little as you want. We are going to have some in-person meetups. We have a lot of
Mm,
virtual meetups too, where we
yeah.
like, do this. But we're gonna have more in-person ones too, just because it is really fun to like be in person,
Yeah.
with people
Absolutely.
and
Yeah.
um, but yeah, I get that because you don't want to be on your phone all the time. Though I get it too in postpartum. Like sometimes that is your relief, like
Oh yeah.
connecting with somebody that is
Right.
going
It's
through it.
for sure in the few times that you have. For
Yeah,
sure. Absolutely.
yeah.
Um, okay, so tell me as we like kind of wrap up, tell me more about this nervous system regulation and like what is the thing that you feel like everybody needs to know about nervous system regulation?
Yes. Okay. I'm gonna simplify it as simple,
Okay.
simple, simple as possible because I could nerd out on the subject and we could just literally talk about the subject for hours on all the little nuances.
Yes.
But I would say to just remember that our nervous system speaks to us through emotion to guide us to
Mm,
safety, to felt
yeah.
safety. And that at the end of the day, every single thing we think, feel, do, act, respond, like everything is just this barometer as to
Yeah.
how safe we feel. And
Mm,
and that's really as simple as it gets.
yeah.
And then you can deep dive into it as to like, well, why is it that I'm anxious every time the phone rings, or why am I anxious right now and I'm literally like in bed trying to go to sleep? Like then you can dive
Right.
into like why is your body not feeling safe? Like, and
Right.
you could go into all of that. But I think for me to get across to everyone is that nothing that we feel, think, say, do, experience in life, it makes us right or wrong or good or bad.
Hmm.
And yes, like sure, feeling anger might not feel pleasurable as it would like
Right.
to be on a vacation in Hawaii on the beach, sure. But everything is information telling us how to
Yeah.
come back to that safety. And then when we can, and it's not even that we have to stay in that safety. Like the whole thing, and people are like, it's not about being calm. It's about being able to like
Right.
close that loop. And
Absolutely.
so it's just constantly like, how can I close that loop? And all that information is like trying to get you to close that loop again. So if you kind of just think about it like that, that's my favorite way to think about the nervous system is just all of it being information to get us back to
Yeah.
felt safety.
That's amazing. I
Um,
love it. What else do you want to share?
oh, okay. There's so many things.
Well, you can
Um,
you can talk for a while if you want to.
like there's so many things I want to share. Um, I think one of the things to go off of the nervous system a little bit more
Yeah.
is as I started to learn more about it, the more I realized that my entire life and all of our lives are shaped through the lens of our nervous system, of that like
Mm,
parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system.
yeah.
And and I know that it can be like really kind of weird to think that you're not seeing the world and experiencing it as things are, but really like how you believe it to be that you're seeing and how safe you feel. And
Yeah.
that was one of the biggest realizations for me as far as this idea of enjoying motherhood, enjoying all of
Mm,
it,
yeah.
and really enjoying it from a place of radical acceptance versus like, I wish things were different. And this goes for anything. Like, I wish the past was different. I wish the future was different. I wish what was going on right now wasn't. Like you could say, my toddler is having this tantrum. I'm angry. I wish this wasn't so. And that pulling you out of the current reality is putting these stories on you, creating like more
Mhm.
suffering in your day where I really feel like we can enjoy, and I say enjoy like feeling like more, I guess alive would be a better word, but if you're
Okay.
like, yeah, my toddler is having a tantrum. I'm angry and this is how it is right now, coming
Yeah.
back to that present, you can actually be like, I really enjoy all those moments too. Like I enjoyed the breadth of things that I could feel instead of
Mhm.
always just trying to get to like happiness in the sense of smiling
Yeah.
and that was just a huge realization for me that like life is life. It's going to have all its things, and there really are no problems unless we label them as a problem. Like my toddler crying on the floor is not a problem unless I say it is. Otherwise, it's just the thing I'm dealing with right now. Like
Yeah.
it's just something in life that's happening, and just that small reframe can create your motherhood day in and day out experience to feel really good. And I wish that for all the moms because especially if we're looking on social media and we're seeing all
Yeah.
of these influencers, all these people who just like seem to have great lives. And even if they do say, no, like they do have a picture or video of them crying, like
Yeah.
subconsciously we're still like, yeah, but you live in that house in that area with that view, you take these vacations, like
Right.
and and again, then that puts us in this place where we're like, so I'm less than, not as good, or whatever. And I know I'm like kind of taking a tangent here, but
No, you're
really
good.
coming coming full circle, you're like, okay, all of these are it's my nervous system and these subconscious beliefs
Right.
that I have. And if I could just get curious about them and not from a I'm broken, I'm wrong, I'm fixing kind of a way, then I can
Mhm.
really make every moment in motherhood more enjoyable. And also, I don't have to. Also, I can
Yeah.
just let it be and I don't need to compare myself. Like, and in the letting it be without trying, you are creating this like aliveness that,
Yeah.
you know, or just, it's really difficult to put into words. So I'm trying, but um, that is, that's definitely one thing I would love. And all, like, I know it could sound like, okay, yeah, well, it's just a toddler crying, but it could be anything. It could be your fertility challenges. It could be a
Yeah.
divorce. It could be a death. It could be anything. And I think the act of feeling the
Yeah.
thing first, yes, closes that nervous system loop and
Mhm.
also allows you to feel this life.
Yeah.
And that creates our experience. And in motherhood, there's so many things that we're like, we need to do this, we should do this, we need to raise them this way, I need to stay this like conscious parent, I need to take nutrition, and there's all these things that
Right.
we have like put as expectations on ourselves.
Mhm.
And at the end of the day, none of them really matter. Like, okay, sure, maybe you could say that it matters that you pay your bills, you have electricity, but also it doesn't.
Yeah.
Um, like you're probably still going to be okay, and you're
Right.
going to probably figure it out. And so I think just releasing some of those things just makes it more lighthearted. Like, yeah, like, none of this actually really matters. So how is it that I
Mhm.
want to experience this moment? Like with you talking on this podcast, like nothing else really matters right now. So how can I just connect with you? Because like then for me, you could then say values. Like one of the values is connection and peace and playfulness. And how can I
Right.
just make sure that this hour with you, like I get to connect with you and I get to make this such a good experience for me and maybe an opportunity for you to have fun too,
Yeah.
because like none of the other stuff matters. And I think those ways of thinking really play into a lot of it is like subconscious work, nervous system work, inner child work, like because
Mhm.
we have all this data that
Yeah.
created how we view life. So it does get more nuanced. But just thinking about the fact that like your day in and day out everyday life experience can be so freeing
Yeah.
even if nothing's changed, like, even though you're
Mm.
still running late for work, like, nothing can change, but then everything changes because your nervous system feels safe and alive.
Yeah.
So, that's probably yeah, that's one of the biggest things I just want I wish for every mom, every human really, but, like,
Yeah.
since I'm in the mom space, every
Right.
mom
Right.
have
Right.
that for their
Absolutely.
kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, and then, yeah, just thinking if we could live like that, And that is really filling for our cups. And then
Right.
we parent from that space.
Hmm.
Our kids see that and witness that, and
Right.
they don't necessarily have to do the same kind of healing we do with like emotional intelligence and emotional literacy and
Yeah.
the things that like our generation is currently trying to reheal.
Right.
They'll have
Yeah.
their own stuff, obviously, like,
Absolutely. Yeah.
but maybe
Everybody
they won't
does.
have that.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah. I feel like there's so much hope in that aspect of being like, one of my favorite people who does emotional intelligence work, Alyssa Blass Campbell, she always says, like, it's not like if my kid will go to therapy, it's like, what will
when
they go to therapy for?
or yeah,
Uh, it's like, how can we screw up the least in
yeah,
what that looks like?
yeah,
But I feel like even that reframe of just like, okay, like we're doing the best with the knowledge that we've got. We're giving them the tools that we can be best parents in this situation with the knowledge that we've got and giving them the tools to be the best humans that they can be. Um,
yeah,
and knowing that like there's still going to be something that even if
yeah.
we were doing it absolutely like best practice, like they still might get the information differently or they might
Yes,
still
they probably
react
will.
differently, right? Like they're not
Yeah,
going to react the exact same way that the textbook tells us
yeah,
that we could.
and that's
And
great.
that's okay, right? Like
Yeah,
that's good. That means they're human and like that they
yeah,
have all of these aspects of it too. But man, yeah, I
yeah.
feel like it's
And
so
that's
huge.
just like so releasing too to be like,
Yeah,
I can't be perfect. There's no
right.
possible way, but I can share with them something that's important to me and they'll take it and interpret it however they interpret it because they're their own beings and
Absolutely.
that's okay and that's cool. And you know what? None of it really matters. Like,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. Amazing.
yeah,
I I love this all. I feel like we could probably really
we
talk
could.
for hours about so
I
many
think we
different
could.
things. Yeah. Um, is there anything else you want to share before we close out for today?
Um, just know that you are perfect the way you are right here, right now. And you could say beautiful, perfectly imperfect if you
Yes.
don't like the word perfect, I guess.
Mhm.
In my mind, perfect is just like you are as you are right now, and it's great.
Yes.
Um, and just remember that we're all exactly what you said, doing the best we can with the information we have, and
Yeah.
it all should be happening. And yeah, just take a breath, and it's all going to be okay. Yeah,
Amazing. Yeah. Where can people find you and connect with you? We'll put all these things in the show notes.
amazing. Okay, I am on Instagram at
Yep.
Good Enough Matrescence. So we'll have it all spelled out for you because
Yep.
I'm a little dyslexic and flip flop my letters, so I won't
Yep.
try to spell it out for you. And the same is goodenoughmatrescence.com
Yeah.
is our website.
Perfect. That's great.
Yay.
Well, I am so glad that you're here. It's been great to connect
Thank
with you.
you. It has. Thank you so much, Emma.
You're welcome. Thanks so much for tuning into the Cyclical Doula podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, it would mean so much if you shared it with a friend or posted it on Instagram and tagged me at Cyclical Doula. If you've got a question you'd love to hear answered on the show, head over to mma.com/podcast to submit it. And don't forget, leaving a quick review really helps this podcast reach more people. Plus, if you upload a screenshot of your review on my website, I'll send you a special surprise as a thank you. You'll find all the details in the show notes about this show today, and I really appreciate you being here and listening in. I'll see you next time.
Welcome to the space where cycles breathe, where the real raw life of a mama leads. From motherhood's highs to charting the low, your body's story is the star of the show. Matriarch hearts, cycles that speak, charting the truth in every peak. This is the cyclical doula sound, where body wisdom is always found. Matriarch hearts, cycles that speak, charting the truth in every peak. This is the cyclical doula sound, where body wisdom is always found.
Just a disclaimer and a reminder that any guests on the show are views of their own and not necessarily views of Emma LLC or Emma Goff herself. Thanks so much.